With us, I want to bring in former Congresswoman Katie Hill. She is on the phone. Congresswoman Hill, I understand that you actually went to high school here. Is that correct?
I went to Saugus. I live in Saugus now. You can see the helicopters and you can hear the sirens from my backyard right now. And the elementary school, the last we heard, the active shooter was headed there.
I'm sorry, the active shooter was headed where? The last you heard?
And this was several minutes ago, but the last I heard that the active shooter was headed in the direction of the elementary school nearby, which is where I went as well. So hopefully the police have kind of cornered him a little bit more before he got there. But all schools are on lockdown.
Yeah, we're told specifically the two elementary schools are also clearly on lockdown. Talk about this high school. I mean, it looks like a pretty sprawling campus. Yeah,
I mean, it is. It's a very large high school. I think, over 3,000 students who go there. And in terms of our campaign interns and the people who volunteered on our campaign, our students there. My mom's friends are students there. So, my stepsister's friends and our students there. So everyone right now is trying to get in contact with the people we know who go there. And we're just extremely concerned. And, our community has been deeply affected by these shootings. We've had so many people from our community that were at the borderline shooting just outside of our district. We had people who were at the Vegas shooting, some who were at both. And to have it come here to a school, it's almost like the students that I worked with over the course of the campaign knew that it was going to be coming, that it was a matter of time. And, our March for Our Lives activists out here are extremely engaged, and you can tell that this is exactly what they feared, and the reason that they've been putting so much pressure on lawmakers to try to actually get something done. And I hate that this is what has happened just since I got home 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Congresswoman, how far are the other schools? How far is the elementary school from this high school?
Probably half a mile, if that.
Half a mile. It looks like what we're seeing, at least from one of the shots from KCBS KCAL from their helicopter, it looks like students are in groups being escorted out. It looks like they have already been searched because they don't have their hands up. They seem to be walking with an armed escort. So I'm not sure at this stage how much of the actual physical structure of the school has already been gone through and cleared, if authorities are still in that process. And also, what is the process? It doesn't look like there are large numbers of students streaming out of the school. It looks like it's being done in a very orderly way.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't surprise me that they're doing this in an orderly way because they've been practicing. I mean, it's horrifying that this is what our society has come to, but the students know that this is something that they should expect, and I think that's completely unacceptable, but I guess in these situations, at least it makes it as safe as possible.
About when you were going to the school, about how many students are at the school?
There's over 3,000.
Wow.
And I will also say this was, I was there, just 15 years ago, and there was no conception of a school shooting. We didn't have any active shooter drills. Like this has all changed within the last decade.
Mm. We're seeing a picture right now of looks like a young woman being put into an ambulance on a gurney. She seems conscious, at least. When you're in the middle of this, obviously, you've seen this from Washington. You've seen this. We've all seen this on television. To be in the middle of it and to hear the helicopters and to know what your neighbors and friends and family members are going through.
It's your worst nightmare. I mean, every single member of Congress, I think, is constantly in the back of their head of whether something like that is going to happen in your home district, because it's the worst thing that can happen. And I think one of the hardest parts about it is that, what are we supposed to say at this point? We've passed the background check. We've passed, 4 different pieces of legislation that would make an immediate impact on reducing gun violence. And it's just sitting at Mitch McConnell's desk. There's anything more. And you feel, I think as a freshman, especially coming in, you just feel this sense of powerlessness. Like, we've done our part. What else can we do right now? And to me, it just says with complete and utter clarity, we don't have a choice but to flip the Senate and to get somebody in the White House who is going to make this a priority. So regardless of your other political beliefs, if you think that the safety of our kids matter, then that's, to me, what needs to get you to the polls.